Hi, and welcome to this lesson for Key Stage 3. In this lesson, we will be looking at the area and perimeter of 2D shapes, particularly rectangles, so stay tuned. Let's start by looking at a rectangle and finding out how to calculate the perimeter and the area of a rectangle. But before we begin, we need to know what is meant by perimeter and area. Now, the perimeter is the length around a shape, the outside of a shape, okay, the distance or the length around a shape. So in order to calculate the perimeter, we add this length and we add the width, we add this length and we add the width, and that will give us the perimeter. The area is the space inside that a shape covers, so the space inside here. And we are now going to be looking at the formula for calculating the perimeter and the area. Let's start by looking at the formulas that we are going to be using for calculating the area and the perimeter. So if we start with the perimeter first, you've got 2 lots of length plus 2 lots of widths. So what that means is the 2 lots of lengths here, because these 2 lengths are going to be exactly the same because it's a rectangle, and these 2 sides are the same and these 2 sides are the same. So we're going to add the 2 lengths and we're going to add the 2 widths. That's the perimeter. As for the area, to calculate the area, you do length times the width. Let's apply this to our first question. We want to find the perimeter and the area of this rectangle where the length here is 6 and the width here is 2. So let's rub this off. So if we start with the perimeter, 6, and remember this is also 6 centimeters and this is 2 centimeters. So we're going to have 6 plus 2, so 6 plus 2 plus another 6 plus the 2. So perimeter is going to be 6 plus 2 plus 6 plus 2. 6 plus 6 is 12, plus 2 is 14, plus 2 is 16. So it's going to be 16 centimeters. So the perimeter of this rectangle is 16 centimeters. Make sure that you put in the correct units, because when it comes to area, we're going to be using something else, and that is centimeters squared. Right, so on to the area now. From earlier on, remember, the area of a rectangle is length times width. So the length here is 6 times the width, which is 2. And 6 times 2 gives us 12, and it's going to be 12 centimeter squared. Area is in square meters or square centimeters or millimeters, whatever units you're using. But just remember to put the correct units in and put a square in there. So now that you've had a chance to apply the perimeter and the area for a basic rectangle, let's have a look at this. Now, this type of shape is called a compound shape. A compound shape is where you have several shapes that make another shape. So in this case, we have 2 rectangles. You can see one here and you can see one there. And we have to find the perimeter and the area. So copy this down in your books, pause the video so you can have time to copy it down, and then press play again when you're ready to go with me. Okay, now the first thing I want to bring to your attention is this is not drawn to scale. So this is not really 8 centimeters and this is not 4 centimeters. So if you're looking at this thinking, oh, you know what, this don't look like 8 centimeters and this don't look like 4 centimeters, that's because it's not drawn to scale. This is something that you have to get used to. It is not drawn accurately using a ruler. And it's deliberately done like this so that you can't just get your ruler, if you're asked to find this length here, for example, you can't just get your ruler and measure it. Okay, that's the reason it's done. Right, so let's find the perimeter and the area of this now. Now, the first thing you'll notice is that we've got missing lengths, and we must fill those lengths in first and foremost. So I'm just going to grab another color pen here, and I'm going to do this now. This 8 centimeter is for all of that, by the way. So if we start with this length right here, we know that from here to here is 8 centimeters, and we know that from here to here is 4 centimeters. So if this is 8, therefore from here to here is also going to be 8. So if you take away the 4 from that 8, you're left with this length here. So 8 take away 4 is 4 centimeters. Okay, so there's 4. Hopefully you can see that. I know that sometimes some of you told me that you can't really see the colors that come up on the board, but that's 4 centimeters there. Now, we do the same thing for here. So this is 8 centimeters here, and we're told that this is 4 centimeters. So if we take away the 4 centimeters from the 8, we are just going to be left with another 4 centimeters. So therefore, this is also 4 centimeters. Now that we have filled in all our missing lengths, we can go and proceed to find the perimeter. I'm just going to write a P for perimeter. So let's start with here. We're going to do 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 8 plus 8. And that is the length all the way outside the shape. So we're going to do 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 8 plus 8. And let's work that out now. P is equal to 30 centimeters, as perimeter is a length. On to the area. Now with the area, I want you to do something for me. We are going to label this A and B. So rectangle A and rectangle B. And when we calculate the area, we're going to add the area of rectangle A and the area of rectangle B. And that is going to give us the area of the complete shape. Okay. Now, let's draw these out separately because it really helps us to do this. So if you look at rectangle A looks like this. So just roughly a small diagram would do. And rectangle B looks like this. So we've got 4 centimeters here for the width, and the length here, we said it was 4 centimeters there. So just to show you what I've done, I've just taken this and put it there. This is 4, the length here is 4, that's 4 there, and the length here is 4 there as well. Now you will notice, by the way, you probably have gathered that this is no longer called a rectangle. It's now a square, although it doesn't look like a square. But like I said, it wasn't drawn to scale anyway. The area for finding a square is exactly the same as finding the area for a rectangle. So now on to B. So with B, we've got 8 centimeters here, and we have 4 centimeters there. So let's write that properly. We've got 4 centimeters there. The next step is to actually work out the individual areas. So 4 times 4, that gives us 16 centimeters squared. Let's write that again properly. Okay. And 8 times 4 gives us 32 centimeters squared. And then we just add those two values. So 16 is the area A plus 32, which is the area of B. And together that gives us 48 centimeters squared. So the area of this compound shape is 48 centimeter squared. So here we have the final 2 questions for finding the area and the perimeter of a rectangle. So the first one that we're going to look at is this one here, which is another compound shape, and we are told to find the perimeter and the area. Now, I would really recommend that you try this one yourselves. So copy it down in your book, press pause, of course, and press play again when you are ready to go through it with me. All right, so before we can find the perimeter and the area, we need to find the missing lengths. So how do we start? How do we find the missing lengths? We've got one there, and also one here. So let's start by finding this length here first. We've got 3 centimeters here. We know that this is 6 centimeters from up here, and also this is 3 centimeters. So it'd be 3 plus 6, which is 9, plus another 3, which is 12. So this would be 12 centimeters. Now, this side here and this side here will be exactly the same because they're opposite ends of a rectangle. So this is going to be 4 as well. Now, we've got one more side to find here, and that is going to follow the same length as this one. So that's 4, and therefore this is going to be 4 centimeters as well. And there we have all of the lengths. So we can go ahead and find the perimeter straight away. So let's start with the top here. So we've got 6 centimeters plus the 4, plus the 3, plus the 4, plus the 12, 4, plus the 3, and plus the 4. So let's write that in. And when we calculate this, we get perimeter is equal to 40 centimeters. Now, the area. Once again, when it comes to finding the area, the easiest way is to have 2 shapes. So you can make a split right there. We can call this A and we can call this B. And when we calculate the area, we are going to do the area of A plus the area of B. So, like before, let's rub this off because we won't need this anymore. So let's draw out our shape A, which is this, and our shape B, which is this, and fill in the missing lengths. So we know for shape A that this is 6 centimeters and this here is 4 centimeters. For shape B, we know that this is 12 centimeters and we know that this is 4 centimeters. So how do you calculate the area of shape A? You do length times width. So it's going to be 6 times 4, which is 24 centimeters squared. And this one's going to be 12 times 4, which is 48 centimeter squared. So area A, which is 24, plus area of B, which is 48, and you just add those together and you get 24, 30, 72 centimeter squared. And that is the area of this shape.